Hi everyone, I'm Mike.
I'm Seid.
My name is Parker, and you're listening to the Try Hard Podcast. Welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode. Is this episode 8 of the Try Hard Podcast?
Indeed.
It is.
Well, would you look at that? Two more, and we're at lucky number 10. Let's see if we can keep it going. But we were originally going to have a special guest on joining for today's podcast interview, but sadly, he was unable to join. He had some meetings pop up. However, he may be on next week, so definitely make sure to subscribe on whatever platform you are listening on. We are on Apple, Spotify. We're also on YouTube, so if you want to see our lovely faces, check out the Try Hard Podcast on YouTube and any other major platforms as well. And if you could leave us a 5-star rating, we would greatly appreciate that. But before we get into today's episode, as always, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this podcast, the Naperville Acupuncture Center. If you're in the Chicagoland area and are looking to get some dry needling or acupuncture done, I cannot recommend them enough. I've been going to go see Frank and Angela every week for the past couple months, and they have been key in keeping me healthy and enabling me to elevate my training. As a special offer, if you mention my name or this podcast during your visit, you'll receive a discount on your very first treatment. All right, back to the show. Well, since, as I just mentioned, our guest was unable to join us today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a change of plans. I was thinking, Mike and Say, do you guys want to just chat about our weeks of training, and then we can see if any other conversation sparks up. I know, Mike, you just sent the message saying Lionel uploaded a video on a
Yeah.
rest day. Have you watched it yet?
No, it just uploaded like 2 minutes before we got on the podcast here, and he just titled it Recovery Day Vlog. So I'm excited to watch that, especially since we're kind of all taking a recovery day, or at least Seid and I are taking recovery days. Not so sure for you, Parker, but
Oh yeah. Maybe we can touch on overtraining after we go over our weeks of training and talk about
yeah,
yeah.
we'll let you lead that conversation.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right.
yeah, I could get us started, and then we'll go to Seid, and then we'll rotate to you if you want.
Yeah, but before we get into it, we should mention, so I think on two or three episodes ago, Mike brought up the fact that once you reach level 100, he thought that someone mentioned that you get Zwift for free. We have found out since then that is incorrect. You do not get Zwift for free once you reach level 100. So sorry to get all your hopes up, but yeah, it looks like Mike was just playing a little trick on us. Yeah. Although, did you speaking of Zwift, did you guys see? I think that the winners of the Zwift racing series or whatever, they get an actual Wahoo bike, like a gold one.
Oh,
Oh, they get the
wow.
actual thing? Nice.
I think they get like an actual, those indoor Wahoo bikes, the Wahoo trainer
Yeah.
bikes. I think I'm not sure if they. I saw something on Instagram where it looks like Wahoo made a kind of like a gold version of it, with like gold decal and stuff like that. So I assume like the winner would get that. I thought that was pretty cool.
That
That's
is cool.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Mike, kick us off. How was your training this past week?
Good, good. It was my biggest week of training, I think, probably ever. Um, and that hence why we're taking a rest day today. First rest day in a long time. But the nice thing is the training has been going so well that I haven't really felt like I needed a rest day. But like initially when Parker, you told me today would be a rest day, I was like, oh, kind of bummed out. But then when I woke up this morning, I was like, yeah, you know what? Parker's right. It would be nice to just wake up today.
Yeah.
So I'll just do like mobility stuff, and I definitely can use some foam rolling and stretching and mobo board. But the week was big for me. It was 9 hours, 24 minutes total training, and that includes some time spent in like the steam room and I think like 1 hour of mobility and some strength stuff. But the
Oh,
two
you got dry
highlights of
needle for the first time this week or this past
oh yeah, I would say that's one of the highlights of the week was
week.
dry needle. My IT band has been pretty tight, and I think part of it is just like bringing up the run volume a little bit, but also I've been doing so much like one-legged physical therapy stuff on my left side, and that's the same side that like my IT band started to flare up a bit. So dry needling was quite an experience. Felt like I wanted to jump off the table anytime like they put the needle in and then like pulsate it and then you'd feel the muscle twitch and uh really interesting sensation. I think I will go back eventually, just maybe not for another week or two.
So did
Um,
they do the pistoning or because I honestly, I've been dry needled, I think in probably 5 different states by I have at least 15 different people.
yeah.
And there's very different techniques people have used on me. I found some people, they just stick it in there and they just take it right out. Some people
Oh,
stick the needle in and they leave it in for like 5, 10 minutes.
yeah.
Others, it's called, I think it's pulsing or not pulsing. Uh, I forget the term of it, but yeah, they like kind of just
Yeah,
stick it in and
like
out.
going back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what my experience was like, is like put it in, kind of going in and out a little bit until you get like a muscle twitch, and then
Yep.
like once you do, they stop and they just like would leave it in for like 10-15 minutes.
Right.
So like the first go around, it was like I was on my back and it was just like quads, like the vastus lateralis area,
Mhm.
specifically, and then like inner thigh, which was really tight for me, both legs. And then after that went and did calves, and surprisingly my right calf was tighter, but maybe that's just because I favor my right side a little bit. Um, Good experience though, and I definitely think it helped. Like I've noticed things have started to get better with my IT band and some of the tightness that I had. So would recommend that to anyone, especially in the area near Parker for
Mhm. Yeah. I've
your
also
place. Yeah.
gotten stim done when they add
Mhm.
electricity to it, and that kind of creates a response as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
lots.
outside of that, I would say during the week there were a whole bunch of, I mean, all the sessions were pretty solid for the week, but two main key sessions and one was a run. So I haven't really done a ton of running, but I'm now starting to get back up to that what used to be kind of like normal run volume for me. And one of the runs we did this week, I really enjoyed it. Even though it was nice outside, I did it on a treadmill. And it was 12 by 1 minute intervals. So it was total time of about hour and 20 minutes. And then the main set was 12 by 1 minute on, and then 2 minutes like very easy jog in between. And that workout went really well and definitely was a confidence boost, and ankle felt good after that. So I was like, I think things are pretty much good to go. And those 1 minute ons for me, I didn't go crazy with them. Just for me, it was like 7 minute mile pace, and then the easy jog was like right around 9 minute mile pace, which is solid. So, and then the other like really key session or key day was Saturday. I guess you could call it our Super Saturdays that we do.
Super Saturdays.
And
Fun
it
days.
was indoor trainer ride, 5 hours on Swift,
Is that your
doing
longest trainer ride?
longest trainer ride. Yep, longest trainer ride, no music. I just did it. I
No,
just
I
wanted. I was thinking that I usually always have music in, but I just kind of wanted to see what it would feel like to ride the trainer for 5 hours indoors with no music, and it was not as enjoyable as I might think.
no, I'm pretty sure it would not be enjoyable. I don't think it would be enjoyable at all.
Yeah. So the main set, it was 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 1 minute 30-second intervals. Um, each with I think like 1 minute rest in between. And so like the first round was like a broken up 60 minutes at Ironman effort. So for me, like 235 watts. The next one was similar 60 minutes broken up around Ironman effort, just like increased the wattage a little bit to 240, and then the last one was 30 minutes, bringing the watts up to about 250. In the first two rounds were done at low cadence, and then the last one was done at like a race cadence. So for me, that I was targeting between 78 and 82 RPM, which it felt nice to go back up to like a normal cadence on the last round there. But yeah, really good workout, executed well. Felt all right. Didn't take in as many carbs as I would have liked to, but then had a 45-minute run off the bike, and that felt great as well. So really big Saturday, about 5 hours, 45 minutes ish. So yeah, good day. And yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of my week. And yeah, Sunday, even though I was like pretty wrecked Sunday, still had a pretty nice aerobic run. Uh, and I think Seid did as well. Maybe that will lead us into Seid's week.
Well,
Yep.
we should mention probably that what we're training for in case, yeah, we have any new listeners, but we currently are all training for Ironman Texas. Mike was training for Ironman Texas, but then you had some ankle issues, and
Yeah.
so what did you transfer to?
Maryland.
Maryland. So you're doing Ironman Lake Placid and Ironman Maryland?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. I
And
thought about it today. I was like, if I did go down to watch you guys at Texas, I should like email Ironman and say, hey, if they have a relay, because I know some races they have like relays, I should see if there's any teams that need a biker and just do the boat
yeah,
bike.
yeah, might as well. But yeah, so since Mike was kind of halfway into the Ironman block into Ironman Texas when he decided not to do Ironman Texas, we kind of stuck him around and he's one of my athletes, so I'm still giving him kind of Ironman workouts just so something we can all talk about. But your schedule, I'm looking at your Training Peaks right now and yeah, pretty much 2 weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks, it changes a little bit from what Seid is going to be doing and what I'm doing, so it'll be a little bit different once we get a bit closer. But for now, Mike is suffering in deep Ironman. It's funny. I was at the pool today, and there was this one lady. She was asking me. She's like, "Oh, she knows I'm doing Ironman Texas, so she's like, oh, how's training going? How's everything going?" And I said, "Yeah, it's going well." And then she knows one of my other athletes that is also training for Ironman Texas, and she said she was talking to his wife and she was asking her, "Oh, how's Rob doing?" She said, "He's surviving." And I'm like, "Yes, that kind of sums up, that wraps up Ironman blocks for you. You gotta survive it. It's all fun and games at the beginning, and then things start getting serious." Yeah. All right, Said.
Yep. So I'm starting to have the week off. I took Monday off. So I think this is my third Monday in a row that I've actually taken off. I think, why did I take this Monday off? I think I was just oh yeah, that's how I started my week. So I bought a car on Monday, so that was a busy Monday. That was definitely the hardest. That was honestly probably the hardest day of my week. So I think it went to 5 different showrooms, just interacting with car salesmen all day, just like brutal. So that's why I took last Monday off, and then Tuesday I had a recovery swim, and then recovery bike, and then an easy run off the bike. So just an easy 2.5 hour day, just all aerobic, nothing big. And then Wednesday, as Mike said, I had that 12 by 1 minute run interval workout. Like Wednesdays, I like taking it to the track usually. Um, so I really tried to push the 1 minute intervals, and then I kept the 2 minute off at like Ironman goal pace, and that felt really good. It's like around 5:45 to 6 minute pace for the 1 minute intervals, and then just dropped down to like an 8 minute pace for the floats. And that I was surprised how like my heart rate really recovered really quick on those floats, which I'm really happy with. And then yeah, that workout's really great. Like I go with my buddy Brad, and like when you like see that workout on paper, it's like, oh, this is gonna be like an easy workout. But if you like actually like really like push on it, it's like a really tough workout, and it's like really, really fun. So I really love that workout. So that's always a fun Wednesday workout. And then that Wednesday had just a 35, what is it? A pull ladder workout, which was fun in the pool. Enjoyed that. That was like 3,500 yards. Thursday, I was supposed to have another easy bike ride, so I did a bike warm up, like the long warm up I usually like to do. And I realized it was like so nice out. It was like 70 out, beautiful day. So I decided to actually go outside. So that was my first outdoor ride of the year, and I think my first outdoor ride since Ironman Florida. So that was really, really fun. So I did 2 hours, did 40 miles, just kept it pretty steady around like 210 watts the whole time.
Oh, do you want to do you want to talk about the story about when we first started working together and your shoe? Oh my God, you gotta tell that story. You know,
Oh,
when you're with your shoe.
yeah. So like my first cycle, like first time ever like having clip-on pedals. So I ordered the yellow Shimano like what is it? The clip in, like what is the bottom part of the cleat? So like the cleat. So the yellow
Yeah.
cleat I ordered off
Yeah.
Amazon. And this is the first time I've ever clipped into a bike. I was like, I'm riding my bike, it's all fine. I stopped a couple of times, but then out of nowhere, like one of my clips is completely like broken. It was just like like ripped off. And then that was like an hour and a half into the ride, and then 2 hours into the ride, so 30 minutes later, my other one just clipped like breaks like again off again. So like yes, I fell on myself like maybe 2 or 3 times, but the cleats still shouldn't have like broken off. They're like completely like shredded. So the next day I take my cleats and shoes into the bike shop, and they're like, yeah, you definitely like, how long have you had these cleats? It's been a couple, like 3, 4 years, right? And I was like, no. I like written them once. They're like, yeah, this is insane. Like these are definitely like fake. Or did you like put your like cleat on the floor, like on the road while you were driving, just drag them across? And I was like, no, I didn't at all. But yeah, I'll send a picture to Parker so you can put it up on video. But they were like completely like melted off basically. So then we realized that they were fake cleats. So that was the first time ever riding outside with clip-ons, and I had bootleg cleats on, which was horrible.
Yeah,
So
so I'm coaching coaching Seid, and this is like literally the first week of coaching. And I get this picture from Seid, he's like, "Hey, I think I did something to my cleats." I'm like, "What the hell is this kid doing?" You know, how do you destroy a pair of cleats on your first ride so bad? I'm like, "Oh man, this coaching this kid is gonna be something else." I'm like, I just gotta shake my head, like, okay, well, okay. Oh man, that
I took
was
him to the shop, and the shop's like, yeah, we've been here for like 20 years. We've never seen anything like this. This is insane. I was like, oh God. But yeah, luckily this Thursday did not go like that. It was beautiful out. So yeah, I was just supposed to do intervals, like easy intervals and aero position, but instead just went outside and kept it in aero for most of it. And it was like really gorgeous day out, and it was just super fun, like finally going outside after being on Swift for the past, what, 4 months. But the good part of that part, like the good part about that was like my legs are way stronger than they were coming into Florida. And you can like definitely just like feel it, and just like the Zwift workouts have all been paying off, which is really good to like see. So then moving on to Friday, I also went to PT. So this is my 21st PT session ever since I had my injury. So I go weekly to get needled. And yeah, Parker was saying needling is different. So I did go to the Naperville Acupuncture Center, and that was great. We did they did the electrical stimulation that time, right?
yeah, and it's pistoning. It's called pistoning when they move
Listening.
the needle up and down. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yep. So I had that before, but then my PT, she does like she does the pistoning, but then she also just like does like scrape, she says scraping, where she like actually like moves the needle up and down like vertically and horizontally, and it really, really hurts, but it like really gets really good twitches. And unlike Mike, I really like the feeling of like your muscle like moving. It's like it just like it's like so weird seeing it squeeze, and I just love the more like it hurts, I feel like something's happening. So like usually the next day I feel great. So that was good at PT. Then easy or 200 swim with 25s. That was fun, throwing in some 25s, and then moving on to Saturday. Nothing too different than Mike. So I had that long 5 hour bike ride. But I did start it off with 4,200 yard swim. So that was a pull ladder. So it's 400 pull into 6 by 100, just at race pace. And then going down to 300, 5 by 100, and then 200, 4 by 100. So that was for 200 yards right before my swim, right before the bike. and did the bike. Not really going into details because Mike already talked about all that, but that was a fun workout. And then I had a pretty fun runoff. So it was supposed to be Ironman 2 miles, 2 by 2 miles, and then 1 mile a little stronger than Ironman. But since I was kind of late on time and I was feeling pretty, I don't know, like kind of lazy and like feeling pretty good, I was just like, I did 5 miles straight Ironman intensity. So I just held 8 minutes flat, trying to dial in heart rate, nutrition, and all that. It felt really good coming off the bike. So it was a long it was a really long bike and I had to go a little over because I was map hunting on Swift. So I got the Uber pretzel done. So that took like 5 hours, 15 minutes.
Is that how many more maps do you have left?
I think that's like the last long map I have left. So maybe I
Oh,
have
have you done the one in London?
no, is that one long?
That's the longest, the PRL full.
Oh, okay. I guess that's gonna be so let me look at Training Peaks. That's gonna be on the 30th. So I'm doing that on the 30th.
If you might take,
It's really
Does
long.
that one
It's
take
almost
longer?
6 hours. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
Six
it's
almost
like
6 hours?
6 hours. Yeah. You
I
can
add
try.
45. Let me add 45 minutes to that 5 hour, 15-minute ride. It's okay, right?
We'll see.
We'll see.
or you could just push like threshold the entire time and get it done quicker.
Yeah.
No, no.
They actually you can use Best Bike Split to actually see like the times and everything, and it's like a free portion of Best Bike Split, I believe.
Oh,
If you
really?
like, yeah, if you just type in Best Bike Split Zwift routes, you can change like the rider weight and the average or normalized watts, I think it is,
Hmm.
and then it'll tell you like your expected time to finish the route.
Yeah, I'll look
It's
into
nice when
that.
you're planning those long ones.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I'm almost done with all like maths. I think I maybe have like 10 overall left, so I'm getting closer.
I wish you got something when you completed all of them, but I don't think you do, which kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, I know. I just want to get I want to get all like the achievements unlock me, like scroll down and see all the achievements done. I like that. But yeah, the runoff was great. That felt really good. So that was 7 miles off the bike, which was so that whole day and Saturday was close to like 7 hours, 15 minutes. So that was definitely like my longest 1 day training day ever, other than doing like the Ironman itself. So that was really fun. And then yesterday was I just had a 10 mile aerobic run. So luckily, because the Saturday was so big, usually I have a big workout on Sunday, but I just had 10 miles easy and it felt really good. But honestly, I was delaying that workout the whole day. I was surprised that it felt good doing it. But yeah, that was pretty much my whole week, and I had a total of 20 hours. So my first 20-hour week of this build, which was
Ooh,
pretty good.
go.
What about
So
you, Parker? How was your week?
yeah, I had a kind of a bit of a down week. I was supposed to have a down day or two that turned into like a down 3 or 4 days. I actually so I thought that I kind of got sick on Monday of this past week after my big weekend, but I was actually looking back at I was watching the video I just posted of the my run workout I did on the treadmill, the 20-mile run workout. And in that I mentioned that actually I woke up on Saturday already kind of feeling a little bit iffy. So I think I caught something earlier in the previous week, and then Saturday and Sunday were huge for me. I was actually looking at my TSS. So that weekend had 250 more TSS than Ironman Florida had in Training Peaks. So I had, yeah. Now, granted, it was spread over 2 days, but I also didn't taper into it at all. It was at the back end of a big week already. And so it was definitely a pretty, yeah, it was a lot. And then going into that, already a little sick. Like I said, I woke up Saturday, nothing bad, just a little, the sniffles here and there. But yeah, training definitely didn't help that out too much. But Monday, I had my easiest workout. I think my coach, or shortest workout my coach has pretty much ever given me in the pool, at least. It was just 2,000 yards. So knocked that out, went for a walk, uh, sauna. And then Tuesday's kind of when it really hit me, the sickness. And so I ended up taking Tuesday completely off. So I took a full day off on Tuesday. I walked quite a bit. I went for a nice long walk because it was super nice. It was like 60 degrees outside. And it's 25 degrees outside right now. It's literally like snowing. And I'm supposed to do a 22-mile run this weekend, but it's supposed to be 30 and rainy. And so I think I'm going to change that. I'm going to ask my coach to give me another treadmill workout because, yeah, I just I don't like long runs in the cold. But anyway, Tuesday was off. And then Wednesday we started picking it up a little bit. I felt a little better. So I did I was supposed to do a 5K swim, just did a 3K swim, 30-minute or 40-minute run, and 50 minutes on the bike. Just all super easy, pretty much zone one, not even zone two. And then Thursday, yeah, we just kind of ramped it up just a little bit more. Another easy swim, did 4,500 yards, so a little bit longer, then easy 8-mile run, so an hour run, and then a 90-minute bike. So just a little bit longer, but still all super aerobic, nothing crazy. Friday was the first day back with any bits of intensity. So actually did a triple, it was supposed to be a quadruple brick workout, but I cut it short after 3 just because I wanted to feel good going into the weekend, and I felt good after the first 3 rounds. So it was actually a lot of fun. I like doing these, but I was talking to my mom after, and I started the workout at like 8:30, and somehow I didn't finish until 2. I don't know how. It was one of those workouts that just it kept going and going and going. Like, what am I going to be done? But this triple brick workout, it was pretty much. So I did a warm up. Well, actually, it was kind of a quadruple brick with the warm up. So I did like a 30-minute bike warm up, then a 3.5-mile run warm up, and then the workout actually started. So the workout was supposed to be 2 by 20 minutes and 2 by 15 minutes on the bike at kind of Ironman power with a runoff of every interval. And then you do 10 minutes easy on the bike and then you start again. But what I ended up doing was 20 minutes at 270 watts on the bike, and then a 10-minute runoff, like straight off the bike at that same heart rate, because you want to, or my coach wants me to race, and this is what I tell my athletes as well. You try to hold the same heart rate on the run that you have on the bike, in any race, pretty much. So I tried to run at that same heart rate, which for me was around 6:30 pace. So I did 10 minutes at 6:30 pace, and then after that, I got back on the bike, did a 10-minute easy spin, and then another 20 minutes at 270 watts, 10-minute runoff. And then I was supposed to do 2 rounds of 15 minutes at 280 watts with a 1-mile runoff. But I just ended up just doing I did the 15 minutes and then another 10-minute runoff, and then I called it. And then I did a cool down, and that was pretty much it. I did do a swim after, but it was just an easy swim. Then Saturday comes around, so I flip-flop my Saturday and Sunday. Well, not really, I moved everything around. But Saturday ended up being not a super Saturday for me. It was more of a chill Saturday. It's still a hard swim. I was supposed to do the Mambo swim, or I did do the Mambo swim. Have you guys done that one before? Have I
Mhm.
given that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's
I'm
fun.
getting that to say. Have you done that one, Mike, yet? The Mambo?
No.
No, I'll have to give that to you. It's a lot of fun, but it's pretty much, it starts off as 4 100s. The first 100, actually, I'll pull it up. So the first round is a 100 at 70% with 20 seconds rest. Then it's 100 at 80% with 10 seconds rest. 100 at 70% with 20-second rest. And then 100 hard with 10-second rest. So that's the first round. Every round after that is the exact same, except the second 100, which is originally at 80%, increases by 100 yards. So the second round, it's 100, 200, 100, 100. Then it's a 100, 300, 100, 100. But you also get an extra 10 seconds rest. It goes by quick, but it's a tough one. I managed to do the first 3 rounds, I think, so up to 300. And then after that, I could tell my form was starting to break down, so I put on paddles for the 400. And then I didn't do the last 500 round just because I was still feeling a little bit off. And then I did a 3-hour endurance ride, nothing crazy, chill, and then a 6-mile run. And Sunday was my Super Sunday, so started off with not too bad of a swim, just 3K, and then we had some max efforts on the bike, and then some Ironman efforts as well. So we started off with 4 by 10 seconds max. I don't know about you, but doing max efforts on the trainer, yeah. Have you guys been able to have you found there's a difference in your max power output on the trainer versus outside?
Um,
I always find
I
it much easier to produce peak power outside.
I would agree. I mean, I feel like you're working against, like, it kind of has to like catch up. Or like I feel like you can get spinning faster
Yeah.
outside than like on the trainer. You're pushing this artificial um torque, I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway, but my peak power is pretty trash, regardless, outside or inside. I think I hit 700 watts for 5 seconds. My max all out, my PR is 800 watts inside. Outside, I think I've hit 900 once, but I really want to get to 1,000. We'll see one day. But anyway, after those max efforts, we did some big gear work, 10 by 1 minute at 290 with 1 minute easy. Then 5 by 8 minutes at 270 watts with 2 minute easy, and then 20 by 1 minute at 280 watts with 30 seconds easy. So yeah, just 30 seconds rest, which isn't much, but it goes by quickly. So that ended up being 5 hours, just over 5 hours on the bike. And then I was supposed to do Ironman race pace workout off the bike, run, but I didn't want to push it too much. And well, yeah, I didn't. I didn't want to push it too much, so I just did an easy 9 miles to wrap up the week. So it ended up being a pretty decent week. Not exactly as planned, but all things considered, uh, yeah, take it as a win. Yeah. One thing I did want to mention though was I didn't I didn't fuel. Well, actually, I tried something new on the bike this weekend. So I tried doing usually with my fuel. Well, speaking of fuel, if you guys want to pick up the new raw fuel, have you tried that yet?
Yep. No, I use that Saturday and Thursday. It's great.
Yeah, how you like it?
Yeah, I really, really like it.
Yeah, no, Mike's a fan
It's
too. If you
definitely
guys
on the
want,
it's definitely on the sweeter side, but it's like really like good sweet though. I like it.
yeah, and you got the orange flavor, right?
Yep.
I think the lemon lime may be a little bit less sweet, so maybe we can try that out next time.
Yep.
But if you guys want to pick up the new raw fuel, you can use code NVDM to support the Triad podcast and save 15% as well. So I'll have links to them in the description box below. But as what I was getting to was I tried doing a super bottle. At least that's what my friend Todd, that's what he does for his races. So he puts all of his nutrition into one bottle. And then so he puts like, 400 or 500 grams of carbs into one bottle and just uses that. And then, sips water from others. And so I tried doing something similar. So I only put 300 grams of carbs into one bottle. And even that, it was, it was, if you want to say something sweet, do that. It kind of tastes kind of like syrup. It was just a little bit too much for me. It was the first time I ever did that. And so I didn't get through all my nutrition on the bike. So I think I only ended up averaging 70 grams of carbs per hour on the bike for that ride. And usually I'm at like 110, 120. And man, the difference that I felt running after was huge. I don't know how anyone can do an Ironman, has completed an Ironman with less than 80, 90 grams of carbs, because I felt like a zombie kind of on the treadmill after that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So that's if you guys are listening and never have tried to up your carb intake to like 90, 100 grams of carbs per hour, especially for harder workouts like this, give it a shot because I didn't feel too much of a difference on the bike. I actually felt almost just as strong, but the run was huge. It made a huge impact on the run, which was yeah. So pro tip right there, fuel more.
I'd agree with that, certainly. Just because like I was similar, Parker. I only took in like 75 grams of carbs per hour on the bike on Saturday and was planning on like 100, which usually is like I found that to be my sweet spot where the gut is not like, oh, maybe this is too much, and it's not too low. It's really been like my perfect amount. And I texted Seid, I was like, I'm fearing the bonk. Like I know it's gonna happen at like after this big ride, then trying to run after that, my stomach couldn't take anymore. And then like, yeah, probably about 10 minutes ish into the run, I was like, I don't want to be running right now. And then I took a gel and it got better. But it was kind of like that feeling. If you guys have ever, I'm sure this has happened to you on like a brick run after a long bike. Have you ever had the feeling of like I'm really hungry right now, like you start thinking about like a normal
Yeah.
meal, not just like gels or carbohydrate drink mixes. Like you're just like, oh man, like I could really go for like a just a normal meal. Or something salty even. I was like, that's what was going through my head, and I'm like, yeah, the bonk is coming. But thankfully I had one gel to get me through. And it was a short run off, so
Yeah, what I tell my athletes, if you're thinking about food or if you're hungry while you're riding, then you're not feeling enough.
yeah.
Yeah, simple as that. You should never be looking forward to food during a ride. It's actually so funny. I remember when my first ever Ironman, I did Ironman Waco 2 years ago, I think. And I was winning my age group, and I think I don't know if I was third overall or what, but I had one of the ladies, I had a lady biking with me and from the race wherever, and I was at like mile 20 or something, and for like the last 3 miles, all I was doing was talking to her about where I'm going for dinner, because I'm a huge foodie, so I always have my post race dinner planned out and like where we're going, and I take a look at the menu and everything. So I was talking to her about like the huge chocolate cake I'm gonna have and the brownie sundae and uh but yeah, that's anyway. So anything else that you guys want to touch on from the weeks of training? Or we can talk about or speaking of fueling, did you guys try any new gels that you want to talk about this week or carb mixes or bars or anything like that? I know I have a bar, but I'll let you guys go first if you want to start.
I've I've got a gel. So I've been having more of the Science and Sport Beta Fuel. Most like the ones that I like the most are the unflavored ones, but I
I
did
have one that I was going to try on my run off of, but I didn't get to it. So next time.
it's good. I did try the one of the flavored ones though. It was the apple that has like 200 milligrams of caffeine and nootropics in it.
Yep, the
And
super stuff.
I texted Seid immediately because I was like, I'm saving this for like when this 5 hour bike ride gets kind of dark and it gets hard. I was like, I'm gonna save it to like right before I think that's coming, and then I'll hit this gel, which was like right before the third round kicked in. And like at first I was like, oh, the flavor is like gross because I'm the only other gel I've had that's an apple flavor that I can compare it to is the BPN Go gel. And like that actually tastes like applesauce. And then this gel was like because it's got like the so much caffeine in it, like that I think kind of ruins the flavor a bit. But once that caffeine kicked in, I was like, okay, you know what? I could have more of these like throughout a workout. That would be good. And they have a lemon lime flavor of the nootropics gel I saw on the feed. So for my next feed order, that's gonna be in there for sure.
Yeah, I tried that one too. That one's still a little funky too, because just all those caffeine and like that in that little amount, plus the 40 grams are like super like it tastes so fake, but like I kind of like it though. Kind of like wakes you up.
Yeah.
Taste itself.
If you're looking for an apple flavored gel, check out it's the spring awesome. I think it's called Awesome Sauce.
Hmm.
It's a spring energy gel, and that one's a really good apple flavor. I like that one.
Yeah, and that one's like 75 grams of carbs too, I think. That one has a lot
A
of carbs.
heavy hitter.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't really get to try any new gels. I've been sticking to my go-tos recently. But I did get to, as Parker mentioned earlier, I tried Raw Fuel, and I had the orange one. I really liked it. No, we keep plugging it, but it really just is really good. It sat well in my stomach. I could take. I think I made a pretty strong bottle too. I made a 180, so that was a 180-gram bottle, and that one was like I really don't like sweetness, but that one was like sweet, but it's like still gets like down like really easily, and then have like no stomach problems at all. So really big fan of it. So you can like really make the bottles as strong as you want. So I've tried a 50-gram bottle all the way up to 180, and all of them are great. So just the stronger you make them, the sweeter they are, but they're just it's solid. I really liked it.
Oh, and actually, I had a question. Have you guys? I got an email from the feed about a new. Did you guys get that email about the squeeze bottle or whatever, the race day bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys? Do you guys know if that 900 there? Because the large size is 950 milliliters.
Mhm.
you know if that is 32 ounces too, but do you know if it fits into a water bottle cage holder? Because I
Uh,
want to pick one up. Because the only 32-ounce bottle I know that fits into a cage is the Precision Fuel and Hydration one.
yeah. No, I was looking at the email right before this call and I was trying to figure that out, but I couldn't see it. It didn't say anywhere. They look like they're like a good price though for
It was like $12.
yeah.
You know, if anyone watching or listening or watching this knows if the feed squeeze bottles fits into a water bottle cage, DM one of us or comment on the Spotify thing. And if you guys have any questions too, feel free to send those in. We can answer those in a upcoming podcast. But yeah, it's something because I really want to. Yeah, I would like to. It looked cool, like just super squeezable, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. But the bar that I wanted to talk about was I'll talk about a bar and a gel actually, because so the bar was it was called a Yes bar. I got on the feed. It was kind of like an energy carb protein bar, salted maple pecan. It's kind of a nut bar as well. It's pretty good. It was kind of like a square and tasted. It wasn't quite as good as that smacker bar that I had last week. But yeah, it's tasty, nutty, grainy. And then I also had have you guys seen the 60 gels? They're on the feed. I
Mhm.
I talk about I had it on my treadmill run actually, and I had it in the video. But it has 45 grams of carbs, so it's a lot of carbs. It's a little big. It's almost the same size as one of those SIS gels. But I had I think the black currant flavor. It was good, but it was Seid, you might not like it too much. It's very sweet. It does
Mhm.
kind of taste like syrup, I think. But yeah, that's that's my nutrition story or gel stories, I guess, for today. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Overtraining? Have you guys ever been overtrained? Do you think you've ever been overtraining
Oh,
before?
yeah, probably. Not recently. Have I overtrained before? Yes, but then again, overtraining is relative to like your fitness level. So like even though last week was my biggest week ever, I don't feel as though I
Yeah.
overtrained. But there have been weeks in recent years where I'm like, yeah, like that was so much volume, or the maybe not even volume because I wasn't definitely not near like 19 hours, but maybe more intensity, especially because I was doing 70.3 distance stuff. And there were definitely a couple weeks where like I had a couple bike workouts that would like kick my butt for a couple days. But yeah, been there. Uh, Not always fun. But I guess sometimes it's I guess you kind of need to if you're trying to drive an adaptation. But I think you just have to be smart about it.
Mhm.
How about you, Parker?
Yeah, no, I actually find that I know when I'm doing too much when I don't want to go work out. And I find this the most actually after like an Ironman race or something where, I look at, or like when I'm sick or coming off of sickness, you look at the bike and you're like, no, I don't want to go ride the bike. Or you get to the pool and like, there's days where I think you wake up and you're not motivated and it's still important to go train and get it done, but I think it's hard, but I think you have to be able to differentiate between those days where it's not a question of whether you've been training too much or too little. It's more of, you're not motivated that day. You have to be able to differentiate between the two, whether you're training too much or if it's just another, just get going, one of those kind of things. So yeah, I always find it overtraining when it's like multiple days in a row where I just don't want to go ride or run or whatever. And I think that does. I don't know. Do you guys think it's overtraining or under recovering? I think those kind of go hand in hand, to be honest.
I agree. I'll let Sage jump in and share his thoughts, and then I'll come in after that.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I do think it's like overtraining, like it's not you're never gonna overtrain if you like properly recover. So even if you're putting in like hours and hours in training, but if you're like effectively recovering, your body can handle it, then I feel like it all really does depend on the recovery. Like talking about like if I'm feeling like overtrained right now, I wouldn't say overtrain. It's just like when you're this like far into the Ironman block, you're just always like fatigued. It's like I wouldn't really say it's like overtrained. So like every Sunday, like before like your long run, you just feel like super tired. But like that makes sense because you just came off of like a 7 hour day. So
Yeah,
I feel like
and
it's always
you're supposed to feel a certain level of fatigue when you're training.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's why we do it. You're training the body. The only way to create an adaptation is to stress the body, and you're not going to feel fresh all the time. I actually funny when I was working at Garmin, I had a coworker that used to be a pro Ironman athlete, and once he stopped, he told me that he didn't remember what it felt like to have energy until he stopped Ironman training. Even though he thought he was like fresh and recovered, once he stopped being a professional athlete, he's like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a normal human being and not training. Like 30 hours a week. So I always thought that was pretty interesting.
I've got I've got a couple thoughts I'll share. I definitely think the overtraining or under recovering definitely go hand in hand. Um, I would say part of the reason that we've been able to jump my volume up in the last couple of weeks, or even probably like the beginning of the year, had more to do with the fact that I was getting more sleep, and
Yeah.
that was really good. But then I would say on the note about fatigue, like I thought about it the other day, as a triathlete, the only sport of the three that you're ever gonna have like you'll be fresh for is the swim, if you think about it. You'll never be fresh for the bike and you'll never be fresh for the run. Um, and especially the run, like we are always running at our most fatigued. So it's kind of it's interesting on like say recently those like super Saturdays of like maybe a swim and then a big bike and maybe a runoff. And then if you have like a long run on the Sundays, it seems like that's what Seid has had recently. Like it's kind of good that you're putting all this fatigue into the body on Saturday and then you're doing that long run. Um, the following day carrying that fatigue and you're like running with that fatigue. So it's better for I would say the simulation of what an Ironman's actually going to feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's like weird about that too is like the worst part on that Sunday for that long run is like, yeah, you're carrying that fatigue. Like once you start running, so yeah, maybe the first 2, 3 miles are hard. But once you're like warmed up 4 or 5 miles in out of like the 18 to 20 or whatever you have that day, it's like it like moves fine. So it's like really like your body kind of just like doesn't want to be doing it, but once you're like actually moving, like you have the fitness that you can do it, and it doesn't like ends up feeling fine. Like even yesterday, like I didn't want to run at all. Like after mile 2, I was like, oh, this is fine, and like I felt like really strong on it, which is just like weird. But I feel like fatigue's like playing tricks on you.
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely important to train while fatigued to get so you're mentally ready for that feeling. But I also do think that it's important to do, even though like Mike said, we're never going to be racing the bike and the run fresh. I think also doing some of those sessions fresh is also helpful because, if you're never doing, key sets fresh, you're never really going to be able to maximize the training stimulus during those sessions. But yeah, a
Right.
little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Sweet. Well, I know you guys got to get back to your corporate worlds here relatively soon. So I think that's probably going to wrap it up for this week. I think maybe next time we can talk about the importance of sleep because that's something I definitely do want to talk on and how much of a game changer sleep is. And then, oh, maybe we can talk about did you guys watch that or listen to that podcast the interview about the 110K swim week?
Not yet.
You guys should listen to that. But yeah, talk about overtraining. The Olympic gold medalist who won the 5K and the 10K swim in the women's. She was on the Effortless Swimming podcast, and she was talking about how she peaked at 110 weeks or 110 kilometers 2 weeks before the race, and she said she never felt stronger. So Yeah, for all those out there that's saying, like that's what we said in the last podcast. Volume is king with swimming.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any last words? All righty. Well, hope you guys enjoyed episode 8 of the Try Hard podcast. As always, if you have any questions you want answered, let us know. DM us, message us, email us, whatever you want to do, and please rate, review us, and we'll catch you back here in the next one.
See you guys.
See ya.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Oh, and we should mention today about the Zwift thing, how you don't get it for free once you reach level 100.
Yeah, yeah, that was just I guess it was just a joke that my friend had played on me because we only know one person that's ever got to 100. I'm sure there's more now, but
I'm at 90, 96, I think.
nice.
Yeah.
Be there soon. Couple more climbs up the Alp.
Yeah. Yeah. So were you were driving from somewhere to somewhere?
Yeah, I was driving from Auburn back to the city. I was there just literally just like not even 12 hours.
Oh.
I drove up to go do that MRI for my ankle. So did that this morning, and then drove back as soon as I got done.
Why is Seid's girlfriend joining?
Hey guys, let me switch my name. I my laptop to my girlfriend's what's it called to this trip, and I can't be on my work laptop, so I have to use hers.
All right, I'm gonna rename you Seid.
Oh, there you
Uh,
go. My
all
bad.
right. And then since yeah, I don't know, I was thinking today then we could just do like we could probably talk about like the entire week of training since we don't really have anything else and then whatever else pops up.
Sure.
All right. All righty. We'll get this. Who wants to kick us off today?
I could start us off.
All right, we'll do Mike, Spade, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Sweet.